What's going on, everyone? Mithrandiel here with the Geekly Grind, and today was a pretty momentous day in geekdom. It was Free Comic Book Day, and May the 4th be with you with Star Wars Day. So if you partake in May the 4th, I hope you had a great one. Enjoyed some Star Wars and had a great time. And if you had Free Comic Book Day, as I partook in today. I hope you had a great one as well, found some great books. And so I just wanted to take some time to kind of review the free comic books that I picked up, as well as some other kind of cool finds. So yeah, thanks for spending a few minutes with me to review. First one that I definitely wanted to pick up today was the Energon Universe book. So this is actually, it's not like a preview or anything. This is straight up the issue 1 of Energon Universe, like front to back. So you get pretty good bang for your buck with this, because this is actually going to come out as like a $3.99 comic book in not too much time here. Energon Universe, of course, Daniel Warren Johnson just finished up his initial run on Transformers. It just ended with issue 7 not too long ago. They are changing up the artist and things like that, but there's still a lot of really exciting things happening within the Energon Universe in total, or as a whole. So if you are a fan of Transformers, if you're a fan of G.I. Joe, if you're a fan of Void Rivals, which is another series that's sort of tied into the broader Energon world, then you should be definitely checking this out. And so I was very glad to pick that up today. We also have Marvel Voices. So this is sort of a selection of, I really did the cover. I thought the cover on this was a really cool one. But, again, a collection of stories highlighting, diverse creators, characters, and things like that. So the voices, the franchise and properties are always really cool to see. Pokémon Adventures. I'm always a sucker for Pokemon, and when I was kind of surveying the table, I was having trouble hitting my 10. So I go to Southern California Comics. That's where I partake in my free comic book day, and I also like just going there, poking around in their silver section, etc. And so I was they let you take 10 books. They have these free comic book day books, and they also have stacks of just old dollar bin books and that sort of thing, or 50-cent books, and they let folks just sort of peruse and grab 10 on each pass. And so I was working on getting my 10 books together, and I was like, hey, you know what, there's Pokemon, I'm going to pick it up. So there's that. We have the Spider-Man Ultimate Universe free comic book day. And so, of course, Hickman's Ultimate Spider-Man was very popular. Ultimate Black Panther also was very popular. Ultimate X-Men, pretty popular. So the Ultimate Universe is definitely getting a lot of attention. And so this was a book that I wanted to pick up and get a bit more information on the Ultimate World, and get to see the Ultimates, the next kind of round that's coming, a little preview of that. So excited for that. As you may know, Krakoa is coming to an end. Rest in peace. So Hickman's ongoing, what Hickman initially began with House of X and Powers of X with Krakoa, has come to an end. And so now there's going to be another relaunch of X-Men, starting with Blood Hunt. So this is from the immensely talented Judd McKay. Absolutely love what he's done with Moon Knight, what he's done with Doctor Strange. So I'm excited to see what happens here with Blood Hunt. And so I wanted to make sure I grabbed this one today. We also have, on the DC side of things, not as much of a DC person myself, but, again, it's on the table. I'm getting to my top 10. But the Absolute Power free comic book, wanted to pick that up because this is supposed to be the introduction to essentially the summer event for DC. So this is a good one to have. I am a huge fan of Mr. James Tynion. And so I wanted to pick this one up for sure, The Worlds of James Tynion IV. It has selections of Wind and Something Is Killing the Children and other things in here. So if you're a fan of James Tynion, chances are you'll find something cool in here as a sort of high-level summary. And if you're not familiar with Tynion's work, I'd be very surprised, first of all. Secondly, this could be a good kind of overview of that and get you interested in his work. And then, of course, we've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Who is the Night Watcher? So this is a great cover from Junie Ba. And on the inside, we get a little mini story on the Night Watcher for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And yeah, so I'm excited to take a look at that. But I'm always a sucker for Turtles content. I like Turtles. And then we've got Initial D. Can never turn down any sort of manga or Japanese IP. So I'm pretty excited about this. Love me some Initial D content. And then my last free comic of the day was Mike Mignola's Hellboy. So there was a Hellboy for free comic book day, and I decided I wanted to make sure I grabbed it. Some good stuff in here, of course. If you're a fan of Hellboy, you probably wanted to pick it up just to add it to your collection. And if you've never experienced Hellboy before, you still should be wetting your whistle on this. So those are my 10 free comics of the day. But of course, I couldn't possibly just end the day not spending money. That would be impossible. So I did step into Southern California Comics and do some perusing. And I found a few things. I found the Dark Souls issues that recently have been coming out, the Willow King. So these are the first 3 issues from Titan. Titan also did the Bloodborne series, which I loved. I loved the Bloodborne series. So I'm really hopeful that I'll get a similar vibe from these books and have a great time with them. I will let you know how they are. So I'll pick those up. I've heard a lot of amazing things about Helen of Wyndhorn, so I picked up the issue 1. I think this is like 2nd or 3rd printing or something like that, and then issue 2, just so I could properly get introduced to this story. I'm a big fan of Tom King, so chances are I won't be disappointed. Brad and Lisa from Comic Book Couples Counseling have said wonderful things about this book as well, and they tend to know their stuff, so I'm going to take them at their word for that. I am very glad to have picked up Dawnrunner issue 2. If you are not reading Dawnrunner, you need to be reading Dawnrunner. This book is awesome. I love this book. I love the aesthetic. I love everything that's happening. It's fantastic. I put 2 issues of this in my buddy's hand today. When we walked into the store, they had a second print of the first issue, and they had another issue of the issue 2. I literally grabbed them both, put them in his hand, and I said, "Buy those. Like, just take them." He's like, "Okay." So, I'm doing that to you now digitally. Buy them. If you have them at your local shop, pick them up, check it out. It is great. And so, yes, Dawnrunner issue 2. Glad to have it. And then this one was my last purchase over at Southern California Comics. Again, a work from Mr. Tynion, Spectregraph. And so this is featuring art from the very talented Christian Ward as well, who recently did work with Batman City of Madness, which was a fantastic Eldritch take on Batman. And so this is sort of like a ghost story with Tynion at the helm. And yeah, I've heard great things about this from Lance from Comic Book Keepers, and now I'm looking forward to digging into it. So very excited about this as well. So did all that, got my free books, got some purchased books. I also picked up a Venomized Doctor Strange pin, which was pretty fun. And then Lance and I went over to a shop called Book Off. So if you're local to San Diego, you might be familiar. It's in Kearney Mesa. It's essentially a discount bookstore, but they also have vintage consoles and toys and things like that. So all kinds of stuff in there. And Lance and I love to go to Book Off at least once a month and peruse their collected editions. They've got all kinds of, trade paperbacks and hardcovers and just a whole section, a whole big wall of books. And of course, people come in, they drop off their collections, and, they get priced. Sometimes they're priced pretty much in line, maybe a little high, maybe a little on the high side, but there are a lot of great opportunities for tremendous deals at this place, at Book Off. And so we're always on the hunt. And today we landed a couple crazy good deals. This first one wasn't one of those. This first one was priced a bit more in line. However, Blame by Tsutomu Nihei. So this manga was recommended to me very strongly by the same person, his name's Anthony, that I put the 2 issues of Dawnrunner in his hand and was like, buy it. He basically took this off the shelf and was like, buy this. So we kind of took turns on that. As far as I'm aware, I haven't dug into it yet, but he kind of flipped through and showed me some stuff, and I was like, yes, very interested, thank you. It is essentially about a character kind of working their way through this kind of dungeon, like multi-story dungeon, and there are elements of sci-fi in here and dystopia and all kinds of fun stuff. But yeah, the art that I saw was very reminiscent of like Alita and some of those other sci-fi works that I'm a really big fan of. And so when he showed me that, I was like, that actually looks pretty amazing. I want to check it out. There are 6 master volumes that are out, and that's the whole series. So I said, hey, you know what? I'll pick up the first one. If I love it, then I'll go back and I'll buy the rest, right? I'll get the whole series. And it can join my, other side. I know how to point to things. Akira, I have Akira Battle Angel Alita up here. Lance is working his way through Alita. And so I've got, I'd love to expand my manga collection with good quality manga. So, okay. This was my deal of the day. For $7, 7 of God's own US dollars, I got the Captain America run in omnibus format from Dan Jurgens. $7. And so even though I'm not necessarily very familiar with the run in total, there is no way on God's green earth that I was going to walk away from a $7 omnibus. Meanwhile, in Lance's world, he came across Chip Zdarsky's Spider-Man omnibus, which recently sold on eBay for like $100, also for $7. Insane. And Thunderbolts Red for $15. So he got 2 amazing omnibuses for $22. And I got this Omni for $7. So I would consider that an absolute win, right? So very, very excited about our pickups today. I think Free Comic Book Day went very well. Great to see all of the pickups and titles that were being promoted on Twitter today. I will never turn down an opportunity to promote Principles of Necromancy from Magma Comics, Colin Kelly, Jackson Lansing, and my good friend Eamon Winkle on the art for that. If you haven't had a chance to check it out yet, please go to your comic shop, see if they have it. If they don't, ask them to order it. This is a phenomenal title. I do not think that you will regret checking it out. So yeah, I would love to know what you picked up during Free Comic Book Day, if you got any great deals, if you found any books that you were looking for. So let me know in the comments below. Until next time, keep on geeking on.